my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. For some reason, the background looks darker than normal. I think all the normal lights are on. Anyway, you can never tell about this computer equipment. It's got to just do something just to throw you a curve. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. If I would have ever known I was going to live to be this old, I would have took better care of myself. Poor old Jimmy Carter passed away. I guess everybody knows that by now. A couple days ago, he passed away. And he was about the only, maybe Gerald Ford and him were the only honest politicians that we've ever had for sure in the White House. Boy, I tell you. Sad. I think Carter, and I'm pretty sure I don't remember for sure if I voted for him, but I believe I did. I believe I voted for Carter, and I would have thought he would have got a second term had the hostage crisis not happened and had the attempt to rescue them got totally botched and the helicopters crashed and all that stuff. I think he just got dealt a bunch of bad cards there. And the fact that he was honest didn't help anything at all because he couldn't lie about nothing like the rest of them could. Well, anyway, like I said, I lean Republican, but he was still a good man. He really was, and he proved that after he got out of the office. I don't think anybody can really say too much negative about Jimmy Carter. Pretty good guy. I did kill 3 birds with 1 stone this morning. It was raining out there, and I went out and put the wood in the furnace, and that was the last wood I had, and it filled it up. I mean, it filled it up completely, and that would last to this evening for sure, possibly longer depending on the temperature, but anyway, it would last through for this evening. But I knew I was going to need some more wood for this evening, so I went out to cut firewood, and I got to thinking while I was getting ready to go do that there's a tree that's blocking a trail up there that everybody's been riding around and kind of made a detour around, and it's one of the main trails. So that tree just also happens to be on the way up to those other trees that I need to split with the bobcat. So the way I killed 3 birds with 1 stone is I went up there and cut up that tree on the trail. And that gave me enough firewood to fill up the back of the Ranger easily. Plus, there's a lot more firewood that I cut up that I can haul back later, at least a full trailer load, if not more. So bird number 1 was just getting the firewood for this morning. Bird number 2 was opening up the trail. And bird number 3 that I killed with 1 stone was the fact that it's on the way up to splitting those other ones. So when I take the bobcat up there, it's even more worth the trip. That's a long way back there. It's like 3/4 of a mile back there, and the bobcat don't go real fast. But now that I've got more work for it to do when I get it back there, it makes it even more worth it, So anyway, that's working out pretty well. I did get soaked, though. I was pretty soaked by the time I got back. My hands were so darn cold. I got in the shower, and, that warm water made your hands feel like they were burning. My hands were cold, man. It was cold out there. Let me show you the new improved shingle making jig. And this thing, I got to be honest, it works pretty darn good now. Well, my friends, I've made a little sliding jig here. I was using this for the space between the cant and the fence. Well, now this does that, so I don't have to use that anymore. So that's the spacer. Then this mechanism slides over the top of this and keeps it still, and I don't lose it that way. It would be nice if the fence was another 3 or 4 inches longer, honestly. So it's a little tight, but this is going to work. I'm pretty sure of it. So let's give it a shot and see how well it works. get a nice shingle. Yeah, it's definitely not square. It keeps cutting it off. Doggone it. So I need to square the bottom of this to this. So I'm going to do that first. All right, we'll give it another shot here. I think I've got the two faces parallel now. But I'll give it a shot anyway. It's not the best shingle, but it'll work. So there's the pile of shingles right there. Let's go put them on that stack and see how that did. Okay, well, we added some more to it there. We added from, let's see, here up. So we got 1, 2, 3 more rows and start of a 4th row. Yeah, it just takes a lot, but that'll tell you what, the jig makes it faster, makes it safer. I might even figure out a way to put a handle on that jig a little bit better for my left hand to grip it better. Falling under the heading of just because I could and why not make it an overkill, I added a handle here, and I even cut out a groove for my thumb so my thumb can lay right there, and now I can push through and be completely away from the blade. Look how far I am away from the blade. Then this other hand will just hold the block in like you saw me doing. So the other hand holds the block in and this one pushes it through. And that little spacer is permanent there, so that is really handy. That really mechanizes it and makes it really nice. All you have to do is just remember to flip the log end to end each time. Otherwise, your log will get really fat on one end and it gets skinny on the other. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Piece of cake. Might as well show you cutting a couple more with the new handle on here. That really, I think, has improved it a lot. See what I mean? There's zero waste. Perfect. This one's a hair thicker, so I could possibly do this, but I don't think it needs it, but I'll do it anyway. That new method really speed things up. Yep, it does. It speeds it up a lot. And that, having that carbide tooth bandsaw blade for sure is the way to go. In fact, I'm just going to do a PSA right now, a public service announcement. If you have a bandsaw and if you do any resawing at all, meaning that's basically what you're doing when you're cutting shingles. You're cutting through a large, thick board. Anytime you're cutting through thick stuff, get yourself a carbide bandsaw blade. I didn't own one until just a couple years ago, basically at the end of my career. Man, if I knew then what I know now, I'd have had one of those on day one. Those carbide bandsaw blades are killer. They cut so much better with so much less, stress and heat and all that. It just cuts. It just cuts. It's hard to explain the difference, but it's a huge difference, night and day difference. It's more money. Yeah, those things cost triple what a regular blade costs, maybe 4 times what a regular blade costs, but it's worth every penny. So there you go. Public service announcement. One other thing, and this is another little public service announcement. Anytime you have wood sliding on wood, like you saw in that jig there, it'll work without any lubricant, if you will. But the best lubricant to use and makes it slide much better, for me, the best one I found is paraffin wax. And all you got to do, you just take your dry paraffin wax. You don't have to melt it or anything. You just rub it on the on any surface that's rubbing together, and it slides almost like glass. Then it really makes a difference. I learned to do that when I was making those windows for my shooting houses, where I'm out in the woods, like my tower and all that. Wherever the windows were sliding, I would just take that paraffin wax and rub it in the slide and rub it on the window itself. Anything that was in contact with one another, it makes them slide just like glass. I mean, just smooth as like it's on ice. So it's a huge difference, and that's what I did on that jig there. Was I coated it with paraffin wax, and it makes it work really, really well. Let's go to the comments. Let's see. David Tharp was in there, number 1. David Tharp says, "I hope you still have your fingers." Yep. David Tharp, a neighbor knocked on my door at 3 a.m. this morning. At 3 a.m. Fortunately, I was already up with my bagpipes, playing my bagpipes. Yeah, you wonder why he knocked on your door, don't you? Let's see. At 3 a.m. I can't believe he'd knock on your door. Dottie Olebrand. Prayers for all the Rosa groups. Thank you, Dottie. Got my stitches out yesterday. I finally got some sleep last night. Well, golly, God bless you, kid. Gee whiz. You have gone through it. This has not been your best year. Don't worry, there's a new year starting here tomorrow. Well, midnight tonight. So you're going to get this all straightened out, Dottie. You're going to have a great 2025. Ronald Todd, good afternoon, everyone, from West Bank of New Jersey, and Happy New Year. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ronald Todd, Jerry, think sliding jig on your bandsaw table with a angled push stop. Yep, that's basically what I got there. It works great. It really does. Bill Webb, good afternoon, Jerry and friends. Happy New Year to each and every one. Thank you. David Tharp, my bank needs to do better at restocking their ATMs during the busy holidays. I went to 5 of them, and they all said insufficient funds. Yeah, I get that a lot. Let's see. Dottie says, Happy New Year. Thank you. Let's see. James Copy, I would love to camp out in your new building. Yeah, I think that may happen one of these days. I don't know if we'll make it into a camping thing or not. Again, the only problem with it, for the primitive camping is what do you do for bathrooms? And I don't know. We may still do it, but I don't know what we'll do about that yet. See, James Copy would love to. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that. Wavy Gravy. A little boy told his dad he learned the cross-eyed bear song in Sunday school. Perplexed, his dad said, "What cross-eyed bear song?" And he said, "Gladly, cross-eyed bear." Gladly, the cross-eyed bear. I get it. That's funny. Let's see. David Tharp. 85% of Americans don't know how to do basic math. Thank the Lord I'm part of the other 25%. Scott Roberts. Ronald Todd, I was thinking exactly the same thing, then just flip the block over and run it again. Yep. That's basically what it is. There's more to it than that. You can't run an angled thing in there. You'll be cutting your angle. You know what I mean? I don't know if it makes sense. You guys should try your ideas. I know what your ideas are, I think. And I have tried those kinds of ideas before, and they don't work. You pretty much got to do it just like you see in there. It's hard to explain. I don't know. It's just hard to explain. You just have to try it. Scott Roberts. Yeah, Jerry, this getting old ain't for sissies. I am the same age as you. You get a different perspective when you have more years behind you than ahead of you. Yeah, fortunately, that's not the case for me, but I see where you're coming from. Let's see. Todd, really nice looking cedar shakes, Jerry. You will be saving a load of money. Boy, you got that right. I got misled. I misread something. That never happens with me. I never misread anything. But I thought the shingles were going to be quite a bit cheaper based on what I saw my very first time checking it out. And I thought it was only going to be $500 or $600. And I thought, well, for that kind of money, it doesn't make any sense to make these. Might as well just buy them. Well, then after I got down to the brass tacks and figured it out, it was way more money than that. So I said, I'm going to make them one way or the other. Plus the fact that I'm making them out of the whole building cedar. Why not the shingles? Kim Williford, Happy New Year. I love you guys forever. Well, thanks, Kim. Appreciate it very much. We feel the same way. I'm very thankful to have all you guys as my friends here every day. Kim Williford, thank you, Jerry, for playing my favorite song of yours, Mandolin Wine. You're welcome. Ronald Todd, same principle, just a different approach. Yeah, kind of. Kim Williford, great job on the push block. I love it, and those shingles are looking beautiful. Thank you. Fine job, my friend. Thank you. Let's see. Moving on down. Anything else? Let's see. Simon says, should the first row of shingles be wafer thin and straight cut? I reckon half the width so that uncover the upper joints. Now, well, I guess you could do that, but everybody that I know of just puts the two shingles one on top of the other on that first row. And it really doesn't come out to be a big problem. You'd think it's going to be something weird looking, but you can't even hardly tell it when you get done. Seriously, it just blends in. David Tharp, I used to have superpowers, but my therapist took them all away. Well, you need to get those back. Let's see. I think that's it. Looks like it. So we got 120 viewers at the moment. And I don't know what I'm going to do this afternoon. The weather's still not real nice out here, so it might be that I'll have an appointment with a nap. I might just take it easy and do a nap thing. But actually, what I really would like to do is go out and search around and try to find some more good cedar. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of big cedar on this farm that I could use. The problem is getting to it. It's on steep hillsides, back in brushy woods, and it's hard to get to it and hard to find it. So, I mean, and there's plenty more I could use, but they have so many knots in it. I'm trying to find the ones that have the bases, where the trunk is coming out of the ground maybe for 4 feet without any limbs. That's hard to find. That's what I'm trying to find. Looks like a couple more popped up here. David Sutter, I lined a clothes closet in cedar 25 years ago, and I can still smell that. yeah, it's an amazing material. Rod Wentler, just made it, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful new year. Well, you too, Rod. Let's see. Bill Rhodes. Yeah, Jerry, I want to thank you because being part of this kind of makes me feel like I belong to something bigger, and for that I thank you. Well, you're welcome, and thank you. Scott Roberts, by the way, Jerry, I like the looks of that red flannel shirt you are wearing in the videos. See, again, I never pay attention to clothes, so I couldn't even remember what I was wearing. You're probably joking me out there because of the color red, which I wouldn't be able to tell anyway. So, but the truth is, I don't even remember what I was wearing. Yeah, I don't pay attention to clothes at all. Simon Jardine. Oops, Happy New Year, everyone. 4.5 hours to go here in Scotland. Oh, yeah. You're going to get there. You're going to get there before us, right? Or which side of the Greenwich Mean Thing are you on? I guess you're on the same side as we are. Scott Roberts, it was blue. Okay. Like I said, I don't remember what I was wearing. It's the truth. I seriously don't pay attention to anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm colorblind. Maybe that's part of the reason. Because like it is with cars too. I don't ever pay attention to cars. I don't pay attention to them. I don't pay attention to clothes. If my life depended on it, you holding a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you like the color of your car that you drove up on because I just wouldn't pay attention. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm totally different that way than most people are. Just don't forget to wear pants. Well, wearing them is one thing, but telling them what color they are and knowing the style and all that is totally different. Yeah, if you would, guys, click the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it because that's what Rod just says there. But I'd appreciate that because it does get the videos out a little bit better and more people get to see them and stuff. So anytime you can, please click the thumbs up. We will see you tomorrow with something else. Have a happy, happy new year. We'll see you then.